Hey everyone, and welcome to The Explainer. Today, we are tackling a massive headache that plagues pretty much every growing engineering and IT team out there. I want you to take a quick second and really think about the sheer manual chaos of your current IT support routing. You know exactly the vibe I'm talking about, right? The endless barrage of random pings, the totally scattered context, the frantic scrambling to figure out who's actually on call today. It's a lot. So honestly, ask yourself, how many hours per week does your team actually spend manually routing support requests in Slack? Because if you're relying on people literally copying and pasting context between channels or trying to remember to manually tag the right engineer every single time a ticket comes in, well, you're trapped. You are caught in what I call the Slack black hole. Tickets just vanish, crucial context gets dropped, and your team's valuable time completely evaporates. But hey, there is a way out. 97. That is the average number of minutes users can save every single week by using Slack's intelligent tools and automations. Think about that. That is nearly an hour and 40 minutes of reclaimed time per person, just by optimizing how work flows through your channels. And the absolute best part, we're going to achieve all of this without writing a single line of code. No way, right? Yes way. Okay, so here's our really quick roadmap for today. We're going to cover the manual routing problem, jump into Workflow Builder basics, set up automated ticket intake, handle that tricky on-call handoff, and finally, look at how to reclaim your time. We're going to build these real-world solutions together step by step. All right, let's dive right into section 1, the manual routing problem, and how we actually escape this Slack black hole. Look, if your team basically lives in Slack, you've definitely seen this exact nightmare scenario play out. Random requests just endlessly pile up in some generic support channel. Critical, urgent updates somehow get completely buried, and those innocent little quick questions, yeah, they inevitably spiral into these massive, long, messy, multi-person threads. Without any kind of priority-based routing or clear ownership, your IT and SRE teams are left totally overwhelmed and basically on the fast track to burnout. Because when everything relies on a human just happening to notice a message, things are absolutely going to slip through the cracks. Which brings us to the really fun part. Section 2. Workflow Builder Basics. No scripts, just clicks. So Slack's Workflow Builder is this built-in, completely visual tool. And I really mean this. It allows anyone, regardless of your technical background, to automate routine tasks and processes right inside the workspace. Actually, let me emphasize that. You do not need to open a terminal, you don't need to hunt down API keys, and you definitely don't need to write any custom scripts. It is a super simple drag-and-drop configuration-based remedy to the exact chaos we just talked about. And what's really brilliant here is how incredibly simple the underlying architecture is. Every single workflow relies on just 3 foundational pillars. First up, we have triggers. This is literally just the event that kicks off the automation. It could be someone clicking a link, using a specific emoji reaction, whatever. Second, we have steps. These are the actual actions the workflow performs, like posting a formatted message or maybe opening a form. And third, variables. Okay, this is where the real magic happens. Variables act as these dynamic placeholders for information submitted earlier in the flow. So you can pass data like, say, the name of the person who submitted the request seamlessly from step to step. Let's move on and actually see how this builds into something super practical. Section 3, automating ticket intake by building a support form. So let's walk through exactly how you do this, and you can totally do this even on a free Slack workspace. First, just look over at your Slack desktop sidebar. You're going to click on Tools, or it might say Automations, depending on your specific layout. From there, just select Workflow Builder. Then simply click New Workflow up in the top right corner. Finally, you choose your trigger event. Boom, it really is that easy. For a support intake workflow, choosing from a link is incredibly effective because you can just take that link and pin it directly to the top of your #HelpIt channel. Okay, so once your trigger is set, you're going to add a step to open a form. By configuring some very specific fields in this form, like asking for the issue type, the priority level, the customer affected, a super clear description, and maybe even requiring screenshots, you instantly standardize the request. Honestly, this is a game changer. No more playing an endless game of 20 questions with the requester just to figure out what's actually broken. You get all the context you need right up front. Then, the second that form is submitted, we add another really smart step, an auto DM sent straight back to the requester. Imagine submitting a high-priority bug and literally a second later receiving a direct message saying, "Got it, here's what we need next, and here is your reference number." This one simple automated step drastically reduces user anxiety, and honestly, it completely eliminates those super annoying, "Hey, did anyone see my ticket?" follow-up messages. And then, the final step perfectly illustrates the power of this whole setup. The builder takes all those variables we just collected in the form and automatically posts a really cleanly formatted summary card directly into your hashtag support queue channel. It's automatically routed based on priority, it is highly visible to the whole team, and it's totally ready for an engineer to jump on and claim. Clean, highly efficient, and absolutely zero code required. All right, now that we've totally fixed ticket intake, let's tackle a slightly more advanced, high-stakes scenario. Section 4, the on-call handoff. The on-call shift change, especially when it happens at like 3 a.m., is absolutely notorious for causing major issues. I mean, just contrast these two approaches. Manual handoffs completely rely on bleary-eyed engineers frantically typing out notes and basically copy-pasting active incident details. It's a recipe for dropped context and human error. Automated handoffs, on the other hand, they pull active incident data, centralize those summaries, post them automatically to the team channel, and even log the historical data for you. By using Workflow Builder, and you can potentially connect this with your existing on-call tools, you can automate this entire sequence. You can set it up to send a direct message to the incoming engineer, just reminding them, "Hey, your shift is starting." You can auto-post a full handoff summary right into the team channel. You can even automatically update who is in the Slack user group. Oh, and here's a really cool trick. You can update the channel topic using numbered variables enclosed in double curly brackets. So typing bracket bracket 1 bracket bracket automatically displays the name of the current primary on-call engineer right at the top of the channel. That way everyone always knows exactly who to ping. No guessing required. But listen, we don't just want to message the team. We really want a permanent, searchable log of these handoffs. Well, you can add a Google Sheets integration step right into this workflow. It is as simple as clicking Add Step, selecting Google Sheets, choosing Add to Spreadsheet, and then just mapping your workflow variables like who the offgoing engineer is, who's incoming, and the shift time directly into your spreadsheet columns. Okay, pay attention here because understanding exactly how this data formats is absolutely crucial so your reports don't break later. Here is a massive pro tip straight from the source material, and it is going to save you hours of pulling your hair out debugging. Slack will always add this workflow data to the very first empty row below any formatted cells or dropdowns in your sheet. Plus, and this is big, it strictly logs all dates and times in the UTC +0 time zone. Period. So definitely keep that in the back of your mind when you're building out those regional on-call tracking dashboards. All right, we have built some amazing workflows. Now it's time to unleash them on the team. Section 5, reclaim your time, launching your automation. Making your new workflow live is, thankfully, incredibly straightforward. You literally just click Finish up in the top right corner of the builder. Take a quick second to review the permissions, decide who can actually use it and who gets to edit it as a workflow manager. Then simply hit Publish. But the most important final step here, make sure you share that generated workflow link right in your team channels, or definitely pin it to your channel bookmarks so your team can start using that shiny new intake form right away. So we've seen exactly how to eliminate that dreaded Slack black hole, standardize your support tickets, and execute a totally flawless on-call handoff, all without writing a single script. The tools are literally already sitting right there in your workspace, just waiting for you to use them. So I'll leave you with this one question. What repetitive manual Slack process are you going to automate first? Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and seriously, happy building out there.